My Jenny's too low, so I'm gonna raise it up.
If you saw the first video on this, then you know that the first step in rebuilding this Genesis Coupe is raising the ride height. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the way that this thing is sitting currently,
But it's actually not fun to drive. So, we are going to adjust the coils. Of course, the first step is to jack up your car. It doesn't fit. I jacked up the car, but if you noticed, I didn't take a before measurement. That's a problem. Just got a little too excited. So I'm just gonna put the jack underneath the tire and raise it up to where it's. I think it actually sits a little bit lower than this, but all the weight is not on the car at the moment. One thing I really like to have all around the house is whiteboards or blackboards in this case. It's super nice to quickly make a note. Right now, this tire is sitting about 1/4 of an inch into the fender. Like I said, I think it's a little bit more whenever the full weight of the car is on it, but at the moment, it's sitting at about 1/4 of an inch.
So to make sure that I can actually turn this car and not ruin the fenders any more than they already are, I'm gonna raise it by about 1 inch on the front.
Time to take the wheels off. This means it's gonna get very, very loud. I haven't even started and I already regret not hitting these with PB Blaster. Better late than never. My car didn't come with the big brake kit. I was able to do a set of lights in exchange for a big brake kit that someone was selling. I'm gonna try not to, but I may have to take these out because they've been in here for a while. Oh no, we're good. This is actually going smoother than I thought. I thought that was gonna be way harder. Whenever I went to drop it lower after driving for a couple of years, it was really tough to get these things to actually drop lower, but that went up real smooth. I also may have just jinxed myself because that was only the first one. Let's put the wheels back on. Before I put this side on, I wanted to show you.
Inside the wheel well, we got some shiny parts. That's really not good.
You're probably thinking, Zach, that had to make a terrible noise. Oh, it did. I just didn't care.
Even grabbed the pinch weld up here a little bit. Surprised it didn't pop a tire.
Oh well. We're gonna drop it down, see how it looks, give it a quick little test drive, make sure we're not rubbing. If it's still rubbing, I wanna jack it back up and raise the coilovers just a little bit more. This time I'm gonna use the makeshift ramp. Funny is that these used to be my side skirts.
Looks taller.
But let's do a test drive around the block to see how it feels. Okay, first thing we need to test. Are the tires gonna grab the fenders when I back out of the driveway? It did it every time. Okay. We're good. Another place that they would grab is right up here, turning at this stop sign. Let's turn right at this stop sign. Nothing. I think Wes is pulling up now. I think it's touching, but it's a lot better than it used to be. I can angle and not hit the bumper on that. The car drives great, but I got to level the car out now. The front is higher than the rear.
The front is at 3 3/4.
The rear is 3 1/8. It's about 3-ish. So quick math, we need 5/8 up in the rear. I feel like I'm wrong. It's been too long since I've actually adjusted the height on this car, and I think I'm doing it wrong. Just kidding, I gotta figure it out. So, struggling because I am literally just pushing against a whole spring. I thought I was doing it wrong because it was so tight, but it makes sense. The spring is compressed, so it's fighting against me, but we just gotta keep going. If there are any major issues moving forward, I can probably pop these two out. Well, I ended up having to fight the rear of the car for several hours. So I worked on it for a little bit last night and then worked on it several hours tonight. And I finally got it to raise up just a bit. I hope it's enough because one side is getting a little stuck. I think the threads are just really, really dirty and I'm trying to avoid removing the entire spring. But I actually need to run an errand tonight. So I'm gonna take the car on a test drive to do that. This thing is driving so much better. Did a U-turn and didn't rub a fender at all. One thing I kind of forgot is that the back actually does have some give to it. Whenever it was slammed all the way, I just ran the collar all the way up in the rears to make it as low as possible. And of course, the spring had nowhere to go. It has since, now that I adjusted it back up, has since made the ride so much smoother and enjoyable. Got it back in the garage. Ride height is pretty good. Main thing is that it drives better. The car is driving great. Way better than it was whenever it was slammed. But I know it could be better, so we're gonna try to do an alignment. Never done an at-home alignment, but I do have toe plates here, and my phone has a level app. To be honest, I am not going for 100% accurate. We are just trying to get a slightly better driving car than what we had before. And maybe some better tire wear. Okay, you can go ahead and let me know if I'm doing this right or wrong in the comments, but we have the wheel straight, we have the plates flush against the wheels on either side, and I'm checking the measurements on both tapes. If they're super far out of whack, then we'll adjust toe. If not, probably gonna leave it alone. This side. This side. Well, they are even. Just gonna double check real quick. This plate is flush. This plate is flush. Yes, 74. 74. That's a win. That's actually incredible. The last time this car was aligned was 2015. The last time this car was aligned was probably 2015, right whenever I put the coilovers on it, and has been driven probably 60,000 miles. It's also been lowered and raised since then. Okay, let's check the rear. I'm nervous about this one. Plate is centered and flush. Centered and flush. About 76.5. 77. Just like I thought, the rear is towed in. So now I need to Google how to adjust the rear. I don't know if they are adjustable, but we're gonna find out. Okay, so you see that bolt? That one, right there. That bolt adjusts the rear camber. Not by much, by just a little bit. And that is responsible for the toe. But if you notice, it is not adjustable. So I can adjust camber, but I cannot adjust toe. But if I adjust the camber, the toe will be knocked out. As you can see, there is not really a whole lot of room to be adjusting camber. Almost a finger. These are 275 tires, and I have a set of 285s I want to put on, which means there's really not going to be any space. That also means that the ride height and alignment, I didn't do an alignment, we just checked it, part of the car is done. The alignment is good. I checked camber all the way around. It's even. Toe is even up front. Toe is knocked out in the rear, but we can't really adjust that without getting toe arm. I would love to get toe arms. That's expensive. I have no money. The goal is to do this with no money. But what we can do is we can now move on with this list. Wash car, that'll be easy. I'm gonna hunt for some new panels. Fenders and hood are top on my list. Okay, bye.